Good morning, you guys. Y'all, I done had several different confirmations this morning regarding the word that I'm about to post right now. It's so crazy. Last night, the word today that I'm going to deliver, it has to do with the dream that I had, and then a couple of different things that just happened this morning to further confirm my dream. I'm trying to figure out which one I'm going to tell you guys first. So I'm going to start by talking about the dream first. There were two different small parts in this dream. So in this first part, I was in a mall. And so, you know how inside the mall there's the regular stores, and then in like the hallways or whatever you want to call it, there is vendors that are just selling things like purses and perfume and whatever. I was looking through, there was a vendor standing there, and there was a tall, large woman there. And I was looking kind of through that, and through her little purse vendor, whatever it was, I could see a group of young men, maybe in their late teens. They were attacking one person. There was one guy that was being attacked by all these other people, and at some point the tall large woman intervened and got the boys to run away and left the other boy alone. And that was one part of the dream. And so in the second part of this dream, I was still in the mall. I was in a different area in the mall, and it seemed way bigger than the other part that I was in. And there were people all around me. And all of a sudden, out of these people that were all around, I started to see appear these men wearing black hats, and they almost looked like robbers, but they didn't have like the face stuff on, and each of them had different weapons. So I would maybe turn to my left, and there would be one of them right there appearing out of all the people, and he was twirling a big knife. It was like it wasn't as big as a machete, but it was bigger than like a kitchen knife, and he was twirling that around and just looking at me. And then maybe over there to the right there was another guy appearing. And y'all, that just scared me. What is crazy, because as I'm telling y'all the video, when I just started telling y'all there was a guy in black in front of me, there is this guy wearing black on his phone. He just came out of nowhere. And then I said, and then appeared a man to the right, and then on the right there's another guy appearing walking, and they're about to pass each other. That was just so weird. I know that was like a little side note, but that was weird. But so yeah, and so like to my right appeared another guy, and this man had like a gun, and he was looking at the crowd and looking at the people around. And then maybe up high there was another guy, like a robber looking guy with another weapon. And I said to myself, I have to get out of here. They're getting ready to try to overtake this mall, and I have to go. And so there were some doors over by where the guy was twirling the big knife, and I ran out of those doors, and that was the end of the dream. um y'all, I don't know if those of you who are spiritually sensitive like me have been feeling it, but the spiritual warfare is getting very, very heavy. This is a direct attack on God's people. Like, there was no sugarcoating it. There was not even really much for me to interpret in the dream, because it is straight up what it is. There is enemies lurking around, getting ready to try to overtake God's people. God's word says, so in Isaiah 59:19, it says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. Well, this is my part, y'all. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. I love that verse, y'all, because it is what it is. It's plain. Listen, when the enemy starts to flood and he starts to come in, and you start to see his people, one popping up there, another enemy there, another devil there, another warlock here, a witch there, the Spirit of the Lord shall come in like a flood and lift up a standard against him. That's what God's word says. So I'm going to read to you guys like a little interpretation about just the whole thing in general, just being in the mall and what the weapons represent and everything. So the interpretation of that dream is a severe spiritual battle and a direct attack by stubborn pursuers on your progress, peace, or your destiny. So these people that are trying to attack, they are stubborn pursuers. That means they are not hearkening to God's voice. They are not taking and reading the signs, because God, one thing about God is he's going to be lenient with you at first. He's going to do little things like smack you on the wrist, smack you on the hand a little bit at first, and then he's going to do his big one. That's one thing about my God. Okay. And I was just thinking about it a little bit ago, like how we are so, like, all the things that we've read in the Bible and all the things that we have seen, some of us have seen very, very miraculous things out here that God has done. But God is so much, this is the reference that I got. God is so much like the ocean, y'all. Do you know how they say only a small percentage of the ocean has been discovered by humans? A very small portion. There is depths that we can't even begin to touch in terms of the ocean. God is the same way. Out of all the things that we have heard and all the things that we have seen, do you guys know that there is so much more to God that he has not even shown us yet? And just to be able to fathom that, it's just like amazing. God is so amazing, and there is so much more to him that we have ever even seen, or that he has ever even showed us, that we're not going to even be able to know till we get to heaven, till we walk through those pearly gates. But yeah, so the weapons in that dream represent harsh words, criticism, or direct spiritual attacks. Because the crazy thing is, they all could have had the same weapon, but they all had different weapons. As in, the enemy uses different tactics and different methods to try to get you and try to scare you and try to bring you down. He's not going to keep coming at you with the same thing. He's going to have different things. Because like I said, these men, one had a gun, one had a machete looking knife, the other one had something else. But they were all coming from the same place, I could tell, because they all had on the same outfits. They had on these like black hats and these black outfits, and they were just appearing out of nowhere. They were not there at first, but they were like appearing through the crowd, as if to try to blend in maybe, or try to mask themselves. But they couldn't mask themselves that long because they looked different. They had weapons in their hands. So this word is for somebody. There is a heavy spiritual attack on your life, on your destiny, on your peace, on your progress, on your purpose. And the devil is going to try everything in his power to get you to go away from God, to get you to slide a little to the right when God says go left, to get you to go backward when God says keep your eyes forward on heaven, on me. But that dream was very, very simple. And then, like I said, on that part when they were attacking that young man, it was a bunch of them attacking him. And guess what happened? The woman, that large woman, whenever God places himself in my dreams, it's never just him. Like, I never see like a big bright light or Jesus or anything like that in my dreams. He always places himself on a person. So, and then that, again, that's another thing that just tells you that God can use anybody. It doesn't matter what they look like, who they are, what they're wearing, whatever you think their background is, God can use anybody. And this woman was tall, she was large, and she intervened. She didn't say anything, but she intervened. And that's exactly how God is. He will always intervene on your behalf, even when it looks like the enemy is winning. The devil wants you to think that he is winning. He wants you to think he is winning this battle right now. But, I wanted to tell you guys, too, the confirmations that I had this morning. It's funny because I had this dream. I said, okay, I'm going to post this word. And then 2 more things confirmed this word this morning. I have a little Bible reader. And so in the morning when I'm getting my kids ready, I'm getting myself ready, sometimes I will turn this Bible reader on so I can just listen to the word while I'm brushing my teeth or doing my hair or whatever. And it's funny because it's on 1 Samuel. And the word that it was talking about today was literally when King Saul was trying to pursue and unalive David. And when David was in the midst of fleeing to these different places, trying to flee from him, there was other people that was trying to come up against him too. Larger amounts of people, and people who David was like, Lord, should I do this? And God was saying, yeah, I'm going to deliver them into your hand. Don't you worry about it, son. I got you. I got you back, front, back, and sides. And that was another confirmation. I said, hey, that's kind of just like my dream. Well, these men were popping up out of nowhere, and it just seemed like they were getting ready to overtake this place. And then the second confirmation I got was I was listening to K-Love this morning, and one of their verses for the day was talking about how you do not fear them, for God will intervene on your behalf. He will go before you. So that was the second confirmation. It's so crazy the way that God moves, y'all. But yeah, I am here to let you know that God is going to intervene on your behalf. Don't worry about whatever it looks like right now in the natural. It doesn't matter. Have faith and trust in God. Blessed is he who puts his faith in the Lord and whose trust is in the Lord. The word says that in multiple places. You have to believe it and receive it. And don't start to doubt. Even when it looks like you are losing, it doesn't matter. It looks like Jesus was losing too at first, but guess what? There could have never been a resurrection without a crucifixion. But I love you guys. And if you have not liked this video already, please do so. It helps the channel. It helps the video resonate and get to the people that it needs to get to. Subscribe if you have not already. I got some heat. As God gives it to me, obviously, I'm not going to just come on here and tell y'all anything, but as God gives it to me, I will deliver the heat. I will deliver the sauce, the juice, and whatever else you need. But have a great day, you guys, and I love you. Thanks for tuning in.